Hello. This is a video to talk to you about my up and coming event, Untitled, the Creative Breakthrough Day, and encourage you to take that step to buy your ticket and come along and dedicate that time for yourself, for your personal growth, for your well-being. So on the day, on the 15th of November, we've got a whole day dedicated to creativity, self-expression, and overcoming some of those things that may be blocking you, maybe niggling at you, and maybe holding you back a little bit, maybe making you feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood. The idea of the Creative Breakthrough Day, Untitled as a title, is that we often, as women in particular, get caught up, and in modern society, get caught up in expectations about how we should be, how we should show up, different labels that are attributed to us because of the roles that we play, the jobs we have, the situations that we're in, our experiences. And actually, this can plant seeds in our mind and in society about how we should act and how we should be, how we should think, how we should feel, about our identity. And with these labels comes a cost sometimes. It can hold us back. It can sometimes make us feel that we can't do things, that we maybe have to play small and step into the shadows, stay back, rather than step forwards and step into our light. And it can stop us from expressing ourselves fully. So if you have ever been in a place where you have, for example, pretended to be fine when you actually have felt absolutely rubbish, you've secretly been struggling, you've maybe battled on, shown up and got on with things, even though behind the scenes you are feeling down or feeling anxious or feeling overwhelmed or feeling lots of emotions that might not have words to describe. If you are feeling like this, then chances are you might find that when you talk about your feelings, it may be good in some ways, but in other ways it might feel that you may be feeling stuck, or you might feel lost for words. I just did it then, where trying to articulate how I was feeling and what this event is about for you, and then I lost track of my words. And the benefit of using art in this way, and what art therapy is all about, creative development is all about, is being able to give you space to express what's really going on for you. The messy middle, those things that you're striving towards, those things that you feel are holding you back, the blur, the mess, the heaviness, all sorts of situations can weigh heavily on us, and we often kind of feel that we've got to present that as a solution. I've dealt with this, or this has happened and I've dealt with it. It feels really hard, but I'm coming through it. I'm being resilient and coming through it. But to heck with resilience, to heck with positivity and toxic positivity. We are here for the truth and authenticity. So if you're making a picture that expresses something that feels raw, that feels an anger or a resentment or whatever feeling it is, to cathartically express that on paper, on a canvas, and through doing that, the physical action of making a piece of art that's like, I'm feeling angry or overwhelmed or frustrated, and these words can be minimized often But this idea of maybe putting your hands in the paint if you feel that you want to, or do something smaller if that feels more you. And that idea of being able to go, I'm just going to show up and express what is going on for me, regardless as to what other people might think. And the beauty of art is that anything goes. Absolutely anything goes. And by expressing that onto your art, getting it out of your system, discharging that energy that may feel negative to you, it may feel that there's blocks to you, that creates space for new things to come in, a new, fresher perspective to come in, breaking through into more empowered beliefs about yourself, more confident beliefs about yourself. So some of those feelings that you're having may be squashed, or you may have repressed some of those feelings out of fear of rejection, or fear that you might not feel connected to other people, or whatever it is, that judgment perhaps, that you may pretend to not have those things there. But if you are allowing yourself to genuinely show up and express that mess and express the of how you're feeling, then when you get past that point and start to express a new feeling, a new, maybe lighter emotion, something that might feel fresher, then the colours that can come through may change. And rather than pretending to make a pretty picture that looks lovely and happy, you're then making something that feels true to you. So that's, in a nutshell, that's the essence of the Creative Breakthrough Day, the essence of Untitled on the 15th. So if that appeals to you, if that kind of thing appeals to you, I can tell you more about the structure of the day. So keep on listening and book yourself your ticket. At the start, as we arrive, it's based in an old mill in Farsley. It's the idea of it's in one of the upstairs rooms in Sunnybank Mills in Farsley. It's actually the place of the sewing bee, Great British Sewing Bee. So it's very well known. There's loads of different activities and events that take place there. I regularly go to that building to go to the creative scrap store to get, there's loads of recycled items and art materials that you can get there. And it's in the room above. So it's very good for practical art making, really great for getting messy. Unlike if I was to book like a really swanky posh venue with a nice fancy carpet, there won't be any worry about getting paint everywhere, because it's a bit like being in an art studio in itself, and mess is welcomed. So as you arrive, there'll be tea and coffee available, and the first, just a chance to meet people, check in as to how everyone is. Then there'll be the first session. I like to offer a structure with flexibility. So offer a bit of structure, but then also within that structure, flexibility and choice. So that first session is called Create and Connect. And that's a space to be able to just connect with other people, check in with yourself about how you're doing, and check in with your creativity. And there's different art activities encouraged and invited for you to do, including drawing with both hands, which is bilateral drawings, including drawing like with your eyes closed, maybe big bold movements compared to smaller movements, testing out different materials, seeing whether the chalk pastels work for you or whether you want to do more painting. And that first session is really about getting into the swing of things, getting into creative flow. And from that position, you can express something that feels, maybe notice what's going on for you, and lean into the second session, all the sessions build up naturally onto each other. So session number 2 is called Art from the Heart. So creating art and expressing yourself truly. So what I said about allowing yourself to express the mess, the messy middle, those deep, dark, difficult feelings maybe, or those things that you might not feel comfortable to share, but they could show up in an image. You can physically express it through mark making and through an image creation. So maybe embodying something from the heart and thinking about like what your values are and what you really desire, what you desire out of life, and being able to make something and play and experiment. Then we'll break off for some lunch. I've said before that there's going to be a light lunch. It's going to be like quite light, nothing like really fancy, but something very functional so that we can have coffee, have a break, have a bit of lunch, and then be back to the art as soon as you are ready and want to. So rather than like the lunch taking a massive priority, I'd be really wanting you to have lunch as a functional thing. Of course, it's essential to eat, and I'd want to be able to nurture you and look after you as much as possible. So it is one of those things where we can just eat and then get back into the art making, because that's where the priority is. So after lunch, we've got a session where we're creating art that really anchors and embodies a new version of yourself, recognising those things that you want to break past and what you want to achieve, any goals that you're wanting to set for the rest of the year and for 2026, and anything that you want to let go of, and anything that you want to really cement in and lean into, step into an identity of the person that you were born to be, a more empowered, confident version of yourself. So with that session, there'll be art again and canvases for you to be creating, and different pieces that can feel like I suppose a sustained piece, a finished piece that can really embody that feeling, that emotion, that identity, that status, and that making something that feels good for you. And then finally, session 4 is about coming together at the end and having a bit of space to reflect, having a bit of space to celebrate what's gone on in the day,